I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's an all-star week. It's an all-star Monday. It's the Daily Puck Drop. It is Monday, July 14th, ladies and gentlemen. We come to you live every single day, Monday through Friday, unless we decide not to do it. The Daily Puck Drop, 10 a.m. to 11:30. You can find us on YouTube. Search Puck Sports for the live show. Also, if you do the YouTube thing, you can be in the comment section. There's a whole little ecosystem in there. Also on Twitter as well. And if you just want to listen to it, the Daily Puck Drop, you can find it on the Puck Sports mobile app live show. So you can listen in the car, on the move, on the go, Apple CarPlay, all of it. Now, if you want to rewatch or re-listen to anything or catch up on the show, everything is podcast immediately afterwards. All goes up right around noon on YouTube, also on your favorite podcast platforms. Did I say podcast? I thought I said podcast platforms. We're broadcasting from the Limback Lumber Studios. Contractors, they got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Largest stock moldings in the Northwest, old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give them a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them at limbacklumber.com. They have been with us for a very long time. We appreciate the support there of Limback Lumber. Local, buy local. Whenever you can, buy local. Shout out to Smokey McPot. He sent me a screenshot of a receipt that he bought. He was building something. He went to Limback Lumber to go get his lumber. You can sign up. You can join all the social media platforms if you don't know already. X, Instagram, Blue Sky. It's all Puck Sports. Puck_sports there on TikTok. You can find us on Facebook as well at Puck Sports and pucksports.com. Sign up, become a Puck Posse member. You get all access to everything that we do. Plus, you get bonus material in addition to all of the free live daily Puck Drop. Ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful Woods Bay, Montana, Flathead Lake, the man is staying in a 5-star hotel. I mean, God, life is good. This show, of course, is paying him a lot of money because Clean Streak is keeping him employed. The golf marshal job, the Jim Moore go-to guy, .substack.com is raking in the money, staying at a world-class resort there on Flathead Lake. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the go-to guy, Jimmy Moore, brought to you by...
Hey, Puck, I'm brought to you by a Clean Streak, as you mentioned, professional window and exterior cleaning service out of Oak Harbor there on Whidbey Island, proudly serving Island and Skagit counties for more than 10 years. Give Brian Turner a call. You're going to love him as much as I do. Why? Because he's a great guy. Plus, he's got a great, capable crew. They'll clean your roof. They'll unclog your gutters. They will pressure wash your driveway or patio or your deck. And they'll even wash your windows. Here's why you want them to pressure wash your driveway, patio, or deck. You could be like someone I know who had to go to ER this weekend because he managed to pressure wash off one of his toenails. Okay? Number one, when you pressure wash, you should have shoes on. You shouldn't be out there with clogs or sandals pressure washing. Brian Turner, he knows all about that. He actually uses shoes when he pressure washes. Why? And then if you are going to be a dumbass and do that in sandals, make sure the pressure washer comes nowhere close to your toes that have toenails that can be blown off your foot. They're aware of all of that at a Clean Streak. So for a free estimate, give them a call at 360-395-5748 or visit acleanstreak.com. I'm hoping this person that I called a dumbass is not listening because he's near and dear to my heart and I love him so much.
Oh, I assumed it was you.
If I had done this, he would have said the same thing to me. He would have been like, Jim, why did you pressure wash in sandals? Everyone knows that you should have shoes on when you pressure wash.
I think everybody watching and listening to this assumed it was you.
No, it wasn't me.
So you had a buddy that was out there.
I'm trying to keep the pink on my toe. I'm trying to keep the pink on my toenails. Okay.
So you had a guy out there. Your buddy of yours is pressure washing, and he decided
it was someone I know was pressure washing.
And yeah, we established that. But he decided to do it in sandals. Is he? Was he drunk? I mean, what was wrong with him? What?
Well, I think.
Why possibly did he think that would be a good idea?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I think even if we were out there doing it in sandals, we'd be extra cautious to not have that water get close to our feet.
You got to layer up. No, you got to put on like the fishing outfit, the plastic when you go pressure wash, because they get the crap everywhere. You're disgusting after you go and pressure wash.
That's why you want to call a clean streak and let someone else do it for you.
That's right, because that's Jim and I's motto. Our motto is, could we do it? Yes. Is it easier for somebody else to do it? Yes. And that's the route we go.
I know, but just think how much money you can save. Like you and I aren't handy at all. No. But if we were, think about how much we could save around the house with minor repairs. Yeah. And then you and I are, dorks, and we have to call people to do. I'm envious of people that a normal person should be able to do. I'm the son of a builder. I'm embarrassed that I don't know how to do anything.
You should be.
Yeah,
I am. I'm very, very well. What's the name again? What's his name? The person that did it.
I'm not going to tell you the name. No, I'm not going to say.
Why?
Because I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to put his name out there. On the off chance that anybody listens to this, I just don't want to put this in publicly.
I can tell you're a little gun shy now recently. I know why. I know you're gun shy.
What do you mean I'm gun shy?
You're gun shy of kind of
about what?
You're gun shy of airing people out now.
Well, I am because
I
posted that story at Jim Moore, the go-to guy.substack.com, and
you finally got
hey,
it right.
Sign up today. I'll start sounding like you, Mr. Promotion Guy.
Sign up.
Puck's Posse and all the platforms and everything else.
I'm a member of the Jim Moore Substack.
And you've pledged money to me too.
I know.
And I'm still torn on whether to accept people's pledges. I appreciate it so much, but I just people are going, go ahead and just hit that button where you accept the pledges. And I'm going, God, I don't know.
If you keep writing great content about how your wife was unjustly fired because she got all hopped up on a margarita before work.
No, it upset a woman that we're close to that works for the concert company. And she felt like we threw everybody under the bus there. And it was
so you took it down.
Unfair to them. And she never once considered, how it felt to Kathy to get fired for having one lousy cocktail before work. But I come from, the mistake I've always made in my life, and I've tried to correct it, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes and how they're going to react to things. And while you're doing that, while you're putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you can't think about how you would react to something. You have to think about how they might react, because it could be totally different. I know that this is an elementary 101 thing to most people, but I've struggled with that because I always sit there and I go, shit, one drink before a company meeting, big deal. Even if you'd had 2 or 3, no big deal. So other people don't look at it. Other people don't look at it that way.
Well, but we have to put in context to what that 1 or 2 or 3. Yes, one like cocktail size or is different than one fishbowl size.
Okay, and what I told one of those people that fired her, I said, have a cocktail, have a margarita someday, and then stop, and then 3 hours later tell me if you're drunk.
Yeah, but just make sure they had the same size. There's a difference between.
I felt like a pussy pulling that post down, though. I did. I hate that when people do that.
I felt you kind of lost a little credibility.
I felt like I did myself. I have trouble looking at myself in the mirror now because why would you, like, if you're going to tweet something or put something out there and then you chicken out later on, you pull it down. Well, what's the point of doing that? Because it was already up there.
Yeah.
And so it was out there. So what's the point of pulling it down?
Well, you did it. You pulled it down. It's fine. It's
all
right.
I don't know.
Have you?
I hate having. I'm retired. I shouldn't have second thoughts about stuff.
Have you made amends with this woman?
Not really. We've had some text exchanges, and what's the saying? I've fallen on my sword, and
So she still hasn't forgiven you? Then put it back up.
She said she still loves me.
Oh wow! Now we've got another storyline here.
And we love her too, but she's hurt by what I did. She felt like, I know she felt like I bullied the person who fired Kathy.
Wow.
I didn't bully him. All I did was criticize him. There's a difference between bullying someone and criticizing someone. I'm not in a position to bully anybody. He's the boss. I'm just the yokel with the white hair that was standing there at the entrance gate to the amphitheater.
So this has caused you to like be careful at Quail Run to describe what you see and what you write about, right? It's you gotta pause a little bit.
Well, yeah, because I did write about it one time, and Dale, the course marshal, called me, and I was like, "Oh," he goes, "Well, Jim, I talked to somebody who knows you. I guess you were like a sportscaster or something up in Seattle." And then I thought, "Oh no, he's going to mention the Substack post. He's going to mention looking back in my Substack posts and seeing that I flipped a golf cart, and man, maybe we shouldn't have hired this guy." But no, he just. Yeah, I am going to watch it a little bit. I've told some people when they come up to my first tee, though, when they come up and I welcome them, I say, it's kind of odd that I got this job. I go, I'm telling you to be careful with your carts. And here's what happened to me 3 months ago in Pullman at Palouse Ridge. I actually flipped one of these suckers. Yeah. So it's kind of rich of me to be telling you what to do with a cart when you should be telling me what to do with a cart.
Yeah. Well, take it easy. Don't take any shots at Dale.
Yeah. No, but you know me pretty well. I am getting a little gun shy, and I don't want to be gun shy at this point in my life because I can't get fired anymore. Well, yeah, I can. I could lose my starter's job, and then you could get sick of my.
But they're not paying you though. They're not paying issues.
You. Well, yeah, they are. I'm getting 2 free rounds of golf for every shift I work.
Yeah, that's not really.
Well, that's the equivalent of like $160 if I go with my wife. $80 a round.
Yeah, so take it easy. Take it. I don't want to get, I don't want you to get fired from that. All right.
Yeah, I've been fired enough.
That's right, and we don't need to. Doesn't need to be on your tombstone. Jim Moore, the go-to guy, fired a lot.
I consider that a badge of dishonor to be fired by 2 Seattle radio stations.
Well, I always like people in our industry are always like, well, it's a badge of honor to get fired. I was like, why? Why is it a badge of honor? It means you weren't doing
badge of dishonor.
Doesn't make any sense when people say that. Hate that. Oh, I've been fired by 4 different.
Well, no, what people say about the radio business though is that it's inevitable you're going to be fired. But that's not true either because you were never fired.
No. Was not.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of hosts that didn't get fired. I just happened to be in that subsection where I was. Times 2. And I fucking hate the people who fired me, okay?
Hey.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Yeah.
No swearing.
I haven't graduated from hating Mike Salk to disliking him yet. It's still hatred, okay? I still want to see him with a cardboard sign on an off-ramp. That's all I want. I don't want him to die. I just want cardboard sign, off-ramp, Mike Salk. Okay? That's all.
I'm not sure what to make of this, Goldie, in the chat. The fact you've never been fired is pretty amazing. What the hell does that mean?
That's not nice.
Yeah.
The reason you haven't, I'll tell Goldie why you haven't been fired, because you're damn good at what you do.
Yeah, what is that supposed to mean, you son of a gun?
Yeah. And you were cost effective for the company, as in you were underpaid.
That's right.
Okay.
It was like underage labor, child labor is what it was. That's what it was.
No. They were getting away with murder. KJR is what they were getting away with.
So you're putting your money on who tonight? Home run derby.
Brent Rooker.
Really?
Yeah, Brent Rooker. I've always loved him as a hitter.
So do I.
8.5 to 1. I put $5 on him. What the hell? Give me the A's hitter.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I meant to look that up, but I knew you were going to know exactly what the odds are. What are the odds on
Cal's favored?
Well, I would hope that he's favored.
Cal's 3 to 1.
3 to 1. O'Neill Cruz, what, 3 to 1-ish? 3.5 to 1?
Plus 330, so 3.5 to 1.
I like James Wood. That guy is just a stud. Oh, I love watching that guy hit the ball.
Yeah, I forget what he is. I think he's like
4
5
to 1.
to 1.
4 to 1.
4 to 1.
According to Bet.
Camanero's the long shot.
Well, I'm not. What I'm looking right now from on the, when you type in anything now on Google, the first thing that comes up is the AI overview. We'll get into AI with you in a second, in a little bit. That one says that Chisholm is the long shot at 14 to 1.
God, I think Chisholm's worth something at 14-1, don't you?
Uh,
Didn't he have 2 homers against the Mariners in one game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be okay. I think this Rooker's got it 10-1, but whatever. I like it. I like Brent Rooker. Yeah, Rooker's. I always love the left-handed swing opposed to the right-handed swing. I don't know why, but how many do you think Cal switches it up, or does he keep it one side?
Okay, since I think he's going to keep it one side, but since you mentioned that about the left-handed swing,
It's always better.
correct me if I'm wrong about this, but maybe you feel the same way. Do you always feel like lefties can get hit the low ball better than the righties? Except for maybe Mike Trout.
Well,
it seems like lefties, they have the golfing home runs more than the righties do.
Well, Vlad Guerrero used to hit him in the dirt.
Well, he was just like his dad. He'll swing at anything, right?
No, that's I'm saying dad.
Oh, you're talking about yeah.
I guess I've never really thought about that, but sure, I'll buy from you.
Yeah.
They just have a prettier swing. It just looks prettier from the left side. Always does. Always has, always will.
It does look prettier, the left-handed swing.
It doesn't matter. Even
Why
if the
is
player's
that?
bad.
Is it because we're not used to seeing it as much?
I don't know. I think, you know what? That's a great question, because I don't feel the same way about like the golf swing. Like watching Mickelson swing opposed to like a right-handed golfer. But when it comes to baseball, the left-handed swing, I think, always looks so effortless. Whereas when someone swings from the right-hand side, feels like they're just swinging out of their shoes every time. But left-handers just feel like, we just kind of swing and it goes. Doesn't matter. Like when I look at like whoever, like the best left-handed swing that people like, right? Everyone kind of probably Junior's right up there. Rafael Palmeiro is right up there for a lot of people. I don't know. It looks effortless. That would be the best way, I guess, I would describe it.
Yeah, I think Cal's going to go left-handed the whole time. Somebody's asked him, haven't they?
I don't know if someone's asked him. I don't know. I don't know if he's. I would think that he would switch it up. I think he's treating this. My guess is that he's going to switch it up, kind of like what Rutschman did in Seattle, because I think he's treating this as, hey, man, it's going to be really cool to win this thing, but really I've already won already because I got my dad throwing to me and my brother's catching, and I'm in Atlanta, where this is where we kind of grew up. I played a bunch of travel ball around here. Like, I've already won, so I'm just going to go and have fun, and it's supposed to be fun. So I don't think he's going into this like, I've got to, got a lot of people put a lot of effort and time and strategy into this. What's the best way to do it? How should I swing? I think he's just going to go up there and be like, if I hit 5 home runs, great, but I want to switch it up and I just want to take in the moment. So I don't think he's too obsessed with how he does. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but that's just kind of what it feels like.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Puck. And I'm starting to get a little glitchy internet. I don't know if you're sensing that at all here from the hotel in the mountains of Montana, which you know what? It just doesn't matter where I am. I could have the best signal ever, and whatever state, whatever city you wanted to pick, but it's like the cyber gods go, hey, shit, man, you're 68 years old. We're just going to mess with you. If you were 28, we wouldn't mess with you. But since you're 68, we're just going to fuck with you and just make your life miserable and frustrate your host. But where were we? How about like if he starts out left-handed and does really well and advances to the next round, could you make a case for him being less fatigued if he had the next round and he swung right-handed since he's swing? Am I overthinking it? Like, would you be using different muscles swinging right-handed as opposed to left-handed? You're talking right now, but I know you're just messing with me. I knew you were messing with me.
How did you know? How did you know that?
Yeah, I could tell.
I just wanted to switch it up and have fun, and just what a moment for his dad. There was for his dad to throw to him, and then again, like I just mentioned, repeating myself with his younger brother there. But there was so many great stories, or two great recent stories written about all of this. One being that was in Sunday's paper. Adam Jew did just a great write up on Cal Raleigh, and he talked to a bunch of different people, and his teammates, his former, I think, strength and conditioning coach who was in the minors, who now is in South Dakota, and Sadler, he's the godfather for his child, which they named him Cal, spell it differently, but they named Cal. And then I don't know if you've seen it, but it's worth a read at some point. The piece by Jeff Passan. The piece by Jeff Passan on Cal Raleigh is phenomenal. I mean, just really good. Good insight to him. A lot of great quotes in there from Cal, but he's Gary Hill. I'll say I recorded with Bill Krueger, and I said this to Krueger, and I'll just repeat it with you. I think it was Gary Hill who said it this weekend. If you went through his numbers, read his stat line, and said, this is what Cal Raleigh is going to do for the season. And Gary was like, well, that's a all-star season. That might actually, and Gary was like, that actually might be in the conversation for AL MVP. And then Gary comes back and goes, yeah, that's the first half. And it's just, it's truly remarkable that what he's done. It's mind-blowing. And he almost hit 39 yesterday, just fouled.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And all these great stories that other people have written. I plan to write one about him too that won't be so great. And I say this sheepishly, ashamedly, all those kind of words, but I'm out here trying to enjoy retirement in Montana. And so I'm asking other people to help me write this column. And since you mentioned Gary Hill, I've also contacted Aaron Goldsmith, Adam Jude, Tim Booth, people who cover the Mariners, asking them what, out of everything that Cal Raleigh has done, what specifically amazes you the most out of what he's done this year. And I'm going to try and turn that into a column. And so we'll see if that's interesting or not. I'm hoping it will be. Here's what I would say, though, from my own perspective, and I think you agree with this. I'm not sure, but I think I know you well enough to agree with it. All the different things, all the tangible things that he's done this year with all the home runs he's hitting and being a historical guy in the annals of baseball history. I just love that he's such a humble guy about it. The humility that he shows. There's no superstar persona, none of that going on with Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh still seems like the guy next door, mowing his lawn, having a beer on the porch. He just seems like that kind of guy. And I think out of all of it, like we can sit there and go through, God, he's done this at a hitter unfriendly park. He's done this as a catcher. He's done this as a switch hitter. All these different things that we can go through. But for me, just the fact that he's just a humble, aw shucks kind of guy, I love that. Absolutely love that the most.
The fact, I agree with all of what you said. He's not beating his chest, doesn't throw his bat. The fact that I think summarizes why so many people love him is when he finally made it to the All-Star game, and you probably read the same quotes, where then the first thing he did was apologize to his teammates. And they're like, well, what are you apologizing for? Well, I'm apologizing for all the pomp and circumstance that's been the last couple weeks of the promotion and the marketing that the Mariners were doing to get him selected to the All-Star game. That's the first thing he did. It's apologize.
It's not about him.
Oh my God! We've said this before, but for any sport, if you could create the perfect teammate, and it's him. He's the perfect one.
Yeah,
as close as you're ever gonna get to being perfect. It's Tim Booth, was it Tim who was on the road trip in Chicago? I'm blanking on it. I think it was Tim, and Tim was telling me the story, or maybe it was Brad Adam. It doesn't matter. That when they're in that heat, right? It's just miserable there. Trent Thornton's passing out. Umpires are throwing up and passing out. He's having a great series, as Cal, and he's behind the plate. He goes, the one thing you didn't see on TV, and I think this is why, I think it was Brad who told me this. One thing you didn't see is like when guys are coming off the field and they're dragging. I mean, it's 100 degrees. They're dragging. He would sit or stand on the top step and hand them water and tell them, drink water, get your fluids in right now. to everyone coming off the field. I mean, it's just, here's a guy who needs it more than anybody. He's squatting down in that heat with all that gear on, and he's standing at the top step, barking it up, not barking it, but telling all of them, handing them water. It's just, that's the type of stuff that he is. And
it's not about him. It's about him, but it's not about him to him.
Never. He just wants to win. That's all he wants. That's what I loved about the Passan. I think it's in the Passan article. And if it's in the Jude article, I'm sorry, but I think it's in the Jeff Passan article, that during spring training this year, after a game, he went up to the suite where DePoto was, full uniform. He had a notebook with him. And he sat in that suite for like 2.5 hours and pestered DePoto, I think Hollander, about all the prospects that are coming up, all the guys they currently have, and what's the plan. He said he just had all these questions written out in a notebook. And he just started firing away for 2.5 hours. And then I think it was like 3 days later, he ends up signing the contract extension. I just, no one think everybody wants to win. I think that guy just eats at him. And he wants to win more than anyone. And he's the absolute perfect player. Absolute perfect. Because you're right. It's not about him. It's about what the team is doing. He's so humble about it.
You just love hearing those different stories about him that just explain who he is as a person, as a player. And it's great to know that, because we all assumed, like, geez, and Cal, has made remarks in the past about, gee, I wish we did more with bringing in some help at the trade deadline, that type of thing. And in the past, whenever a Mariner player has said that, it was his ticket to somewhere else.
Yeah.
But with Cal Raleigh, we always thought that he'd probably want to finish out his career somewhere else, maybe Atlanta, maybe in Boston. And now it surely seems like, he wants to be the guy in Seattle. And you and I, we grew up here and we've been around the Mariners forever since they started. And I don't know, were you even born in 77? I think you were, weren't you?
I was 2.
Yeah, you were 2. Okay. Well, you were a toddler, and, the Mariners just losing. 13 straight years before they broke 500, and all those things that people know. But to me, it always would seem cool if I had the opportunity to be the first to do something, be the first person on that Mariners team that was the first team that finally broke through and won a World Series. And you're legendary forever. Like, there's a bunch of Yankees that have been on World Series teams that maybe you'll be forgotten. But if Cal Raleigh is on the team that does it, that just. I just can't even explain how cool that. It's the Coug in me, man. It's the underdog thing. It's like, God, I would like, if you were ever a Washington State guy that won a national championship for the first time, you would never be forgotten for years to come. And so I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I love the fact that he's going to be here. And for all the shit that we give DePoto for some of the crap that he does and the dumbass stuff that he says, let's give him some credit for signing that contract with Cal Raleigh, because talk about a guy who's underpaid.
It's a bargain. Lord. It's a bargain. It's a bargain what he's getting paid.
What's he getting? Like an average of 17 a year? That's nothing.
Yeah, it's.
God, NBA guys probably laugh at that. They probably talk about it. They go, God, you see that catcher for the Mariners, what he's making?
Of course they laugh at it.
I average 10 points a game, and I'm making that.
Some of these, there was a contract last week in the NBA. I'm just like, why? Like, Devin Booker is making like $75 million a year.
Well, at least Devin Booker's good.
Okay, but
there's a bunch of guys making, they're 8 or 10 points a game that are getting $10 million a year.
Come on, we're going to see a contract in the NBA soon. That's $100 million a year.
So more than $1 million a game.
Look at SGA.
And then there'll be some load management games in there where he won't play.
Oh yeah, I can't play. Cal Raleigh, 6 years, $105 million.
I think a lot of us shook our heads then, but then the people that were thinking, well, yeah, but you got to consider that he's a catcher and he won't be in his prime as long as other players, position players.
He's averaging 17.5 a year. Next season he'll make 12.6. Then in 27, it's 13.6. Then it jumps up. 28, 29, 30 is when he gets paid, 24.6.
Okay, when he's getting 30, he'll be what, 33 or something? And he'll probably be at least, he'll be more of a DH than a catcher at that point, maybe a first baseman. Cal Raleigh would be a hell of a first baseman, wouldn't he?
Saying it, yeah, of course. I think he'll be a great first baseman. When eventually, because it'll come when he wants to get off his feet, he'll be a great first baseman.
Yeah.
He's athletic, smart. God bless, they got Donovan Solano playing over there. He's like 4'8", 300 pounds, and he's good.
He doesn't look as fat as I thought he used to.
He does. But he's good. He's a good little first baseman.
Yeah.
He's not bad. He's small. I mean, you don't see a lot of small first basemen. He's really good over there. So, yeah, Cal Raleigh, he'll be more than fine. What about Julio's heater, huh? Ever since he's made this announcement, I'm out of the All-Star game. Jesus, man. What a heater this guy's on. He's hitting over 500. He's got over a 2,000 OPS. 3 straight games with a home run, 6 ribbies, doubles all over the place. This is what we needed. We just needed him to say, I don't want to play in the All-Star game, and all of a sudden he's taken off.
There's something to that, isn't there? That can't just be a coincidence. It can't be a coincidence that he said, I'm not going to the All-Star game, and then suddenly just cut loose. There's something that was unleashed in Julio by doing that. Maybe he was able to relax more. The pressure was off. I can't think. I would think if I were a therapist, I'd be going, okay, all right, that all makes sense to me. Yeah. That all makes sense to me. And here's why.
What do you think he was? Because I asked Krueger this, and we'll get to it in a little bit, because we're all trying to. Because Bill is like, he's at him. He's like, I was disappointed he's not doing the All-Star game. I'm like, okay, well, but he must have a reason why he's not doing it. What theorize? I mean, we talked a little bit about this on Friday. It happened right when we were on the air, you, me, and Egan. And we discussed it a little bit, but now that you have time to think about it more over the weekend, why do you think he decided not to do it?
Well, the same things we were talking about last Friday. I figured that he was going to be. Hey, I figured it was more the mental rest that he needed than the physical rest.
Okay,
and I think most people would agree with that, simply because I know that he plays every game. But he's 24 years old. I mean, he's not 68. 68, I'd be dragging my ass out going, God, I need more than 1 week off. But, I think it was the mental exhaustion. And I also thought that he wanted to spend some time not only relaxing and taking a break from the grind, but trying to figure out what was wrong with him mechanically. Because there had to be something. People talk about all the ground balls he was hitting. He wasn't getting the ball in the air often enough. And now, but it just seems like something was freed in him to be able to do what he did over the weekend. Oh. And I also think that if he had done this against the Yankees instead of the Tigers, he'd still be playing in the All-Star game on Tuesday. I don't think he would have come out on Friday morning after having 3 home runs against the Yankees and 6 RBIs and whatever else, 8 runs, 2 stolen bases. He threw out a runner at third. And somebody even speculated that if Cal had gotten that tag in at the end of the game that they blew on Wednesday, that if he'd gotten that tag in and Julio's throw, we would all heralded, what a great throw it was from Julio. I sense that maybe he wouldn't have pulled out then either, but he was in such a bad 4 for 37 slump, and I don't know. I don't even know what his reasons are, but it's all. We can probably find out the next time anybody talks to him, and Jude or somebody. But I think it was a good move by him regardless. It was just so nice to see him coming through like he did against the Tigers.
You think he was embarrassed by being selected?
No, I don't think he was embarrassed. Because if you're embarrassed about being selected, don't you want to show people that, well, I'll show you. You don't think I belong there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let me show you something.
Yeah, it's still kind of a, for whatever reason, Do you
agree if he'd done this against the Yankees, he'd be playing tomorrow night?
I could see that. So was he embarrassed on the big? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why it goes back to being embarrassed. Was he embarrassed on that stage in New York? Because it wasn't only that he didn't hit; he made 2 errors, and then he probably is hearing in New York. He comes across as someone that is probably not active on social media, what he puts out, but I bet he scrolls a lot. I think he scrolls a lot. I think a lot of them do, but I think he does. So maybe he's
he's maybe one of those guys on the road too that hears it from the fans and actually listens to it. Doesn't just brush it off, but he might be a guy that takes it to heart.
And heard it in New York. Yeah,
you're going to hear it there.
Why are you an all-star? Why you don't need to be an all-star.
Yeah.
So,
especially after one of the errors that he made. Yeah. Hey, why are you on the all-star team?
I just go back to, and this is a hard thing, and this is what what Krueger and I were discussing. Sometimes when guys are in these slumps or they're not playing well, and as fans, we come down on them hard, right? It's your job to perform. You're not performing. What's going on? We don't know what's going on in their personal life. I have no idea.
You mentioned that last week, too.
And that can affect the way that you play and perform, do your job, whatever your job is. Can absolutely affect it, 100%. You can be distracted, all of it. We've all been there before. Something's going on in our personal life. We're distracted, and it's weighing on us, and it distracts us. Like, he kept that whole thing that happened with him and his girlfriend and his home being burglarized, quiet for a long time. Maybe that has something to do with it. A lot of weight on his shoulders. Maybe there's some other stuff that's been going on behind the scenes with that stuff. So who knows? But all I know is this. You're right. When he made that decision, it has freed him up. He was a monster against Detroit. And the best sign of the Detroit series was the home run to right field. He just missed one earlier that I think went foul to the left side. And then he hit that opposite field home run. And that's what he used to do. That's what he used to do. And Krueger has talked about that one. I posted a video, I think a few days ago, of Mark DeRosa. I think it was on Thursday's MLB Central. He discussed this exact same thing with them from last year and 2 years ago. He needs to get back to hitting it to right field. He needs to shorten his swing. He did the whole thing that Krueger did. He points his bat forward, which takes him a longer time to get around, all of this. And he goes, he needs to start being the player he was a few years ago, not low, because when you watch him, and DeRosa did this great thing, he squats down, but he moves forward before the ball comes instead of going backwards. So it takes him a long time to catch up to the ball. He's like, he needs to go back to where he was a couple of years ago, where he squatted his back leg. It allowed him to drive the ball more to right field. And that's what he did. It's exactly what he did against Detroit. So maybe it's good things to come. He always has these great second halves, and they need him. As we've mentioned a million times before, they can add all these people at the deadline, and there'll be rumors all around. But they need to add him at the deadline.
No, they do. But you sit there and you think, okay, well, if it was something as simple as you're talking about in baseball terms, anyway, like why didn't they do that in March, or why didn't they do that in April? You struggled coming out of the gate. Why didn't you make that change then? But whatever the case, it was just so good to see. And Puck, you've talked about, what if he's not hot in July, August, and September like he's been in the past? Yeah. Because there will be a time there's probably going to be a time too, maybe in his future, where he's gangbusters April, May, and June, and then tails off July, August, and September. Who knows? Sure. But it was just good to see from Julio. And you're right. Now, I heard somebody else talking about it. It might have been Gary Hill.
Love Gary.
Gary has been doing a fantastic job.
I told you for years, and you didn't want to buy it.
He has already checked in with me and telling me, what he likes about Cal the most, and helping me out with my column, giving me a fellow Coug an assist. But I can see him taking over for Rick Riz someday. I wouldn't have said that last year.
Someday it's going to happen.
But yeah,
shortly.
Yeah. Well, Rick's like in his early 70s, but he's probably going to want to work till he's 80. But Gary Hill has proven to me that he can be the guy. He'll be the guy. And I'll look forward to listening to him every day.
Yeah, and I've told you this for years. This is the talent that comes out of the Edward R. Murrow School of Communication.
I know. What happened with us? I mean, that's where we came out of.
It's a good point.
Were we the exceptions, the aberrations?
We were. Just Gary Hills, Eric Johnson.
Does Edward R. Murrow, does he what's the saying, roll over in his grave thinking, God, how in the world did those guys graduate?
Hey, speaking of Murrow, this has nothing, just because he's in the opening credits. You know what I'm rewatching right now? Did you ever watch the HBO series Newsroom?
No.
It's good. God, you'll love it. I'm rewatching it right now. So good.
Newsroom?
It came out like 10 years ago.
Okay. I'll check it out.
You'll love it.
I still, as much as I love sports radio was fun, but nothing did it for me like being in a newsroom.
Oh, so you'll love this then. You'll
God,
love it.
I loved being in a newsroom. When there was a story breaking and everybody was pitching in and helping out, there was a buzz in that newsroom. It was really fun.
So you'll love it. Now it's TV news, but it's the same thing. It's like a TV newsroom.
Okay.
But it's very similar to probably what a newspaper is. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels is the lead, and you'll enjoy it very much.
Yeah. But anyway, so where was I? Gary was saying something about well, look at their 2, 3, 4 hitters now. If they all are functioning with all cylinders going, everything firing, you got Julio, Cal, and the Rosarina. And that was the thing that got Randy going too, and I love that. I think all old school people, new school people, young school people like using the whole field. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Use the whole field.
Sure.
And then they always say when he showed that power to right center field, that just unleashed, a new side of Randy, and then he's bombing them from everywhere. Mm-hmm. God, that's unbelievable what he's doing. And I love that little jump shot thing he does coming around to third base. And then when he comes into the dugout, and he always does that little salute with the police officer, the security guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. And how many balls
you get upset at Canzone for doing that little, that little finger thing. What about a Rosarina? How come you don't say anything about him?
Because I like a Rosarina.
Okay. But, a lot of people, the Yankee fans were booing him for that jump shot.
Okay, good for the Yankee fans. Piss off.
I love that jump shot. And then Negron or whatever, doing the jump shot with him. It's awesome.
They were saying he throws like 15 or 16 balls like per game into the stands for fans.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys though, but that's the weird thing about a Rosarina, because sometimes he's great, and then other times you're like, okay, why are you stepping out of the batter's box when a ball's coming right down the middle? What are you doing?
Yeah. Maybe lollygagging. I haven't used that word, lollygagging, after a ball occasionally.
He's a lollygagger. He can be a lollygagger.
What was that one game where he made 2 great plays?
Yeah.
He saved Brian Wu in the first inning that one game where he came racing in, and yeah.
He plays good defense out there. Hey, we're going to talk to, I think, Tim Booth on Wednesday. I was going to do it tomorrow, but I think Wednesday he's going to join us. I think during the live show. Okay, we'll get an update because Tim is in Las Vegas, Nevada as we speak. It's probably a little toasty in Las Vegas, Nevada. NBA Board of Governors will be meeting tomorrow. There's an Adam Silver press conference tomorrow night, like during the All-Star game.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Well,
I have no idea why they're doing it during.
How about do it Wednesday night?
It's stupid.
Because baseball has nothing going on Wednesday.
I don't know.
Neither does football.
It is just one of the dumbest decisions this league has ever made. Why would you hold a press conference the day of the All-Star? Let baseball have their day. Let them have their day.
And as sports fans, we know the rest of the NHL All-Star game is good, but the rest of them,
is it good?
This is the one. Well, I think
I
just said that because I think hockey guys would say, "Hey, man, NHL's pretty cool."
It's not
too.
really.
But the only one that's really has credibility anymore is this one.
Yeah, because you have to play. You can't half-ass it like the other ones. You can't do it. Just not possible. Well, Tim Booth has wrote a story up at SeattleTimes.com, kind of laying out 3 scenarios. There's a scenario of 1. And I'm going to ask you which you think is most likely to happen. Scenario 1 is that they're going to come out tomorrow. They're going to announce they're forming a committee to explore expansion. Okay. Another option is they're not going to announce a committee. They're just going to say, we're expanding. We've got enough support. Here are the cities. Okay. That's option number 2. Option number 3 is we have done a deep dive into expansion. At this time, there's not enough support. We're tabling expansion as of now. What do you think the most likely scenario comes out tomorrow? Because I have a real bad feeling what option I think it is.
Well, I can see you saying number 3. I mean, the cynic in you and the cynic in me, and you're so sick of the runaround the NBA's been giving you. I can't stand looking at Adam Silver, by the way. I just can't. He's just such a geeky looking dude. And then he's just not been cool to Seattle and the Sonics and their history here. Yeah. And it's just such a no brainer to everyone that if and when this does happen, that Seattle should not only be number one on the list. If it were a race at Emerald Downs, they'd cross the line like Secretariat ahead of everybody else. But I would go with number one. I think he's put it off for so long that I think a committee will be named, and they're going to explore it further, and they're leaning toward expanding as opposed to not expanding. But I don't think that they're going to specifically say, yeah, we're looking at Seattle, Vegas, Mexico City. I don't think he'll be doing any of that.
Okay. All right. But
where are you on it? Where are you on it?
I have a bad feeling it's option 3. I don't know.
Do you?
Yeah, I just have a real bad feeling. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just trying to reverse jinx it. Well, I don't like the comments that came out recently. I don't like the comments that recently came out from James Dolan, who's the owner of the Knicks, who's not in favor of it. But he's also not in favor of a lot of things. So maybe that's actually a good sign because he kind of votes opposite of all the other owners. So I think this Wiki situation makes things weird. You know, the potential of him going to jail, going to jail for what he did in Texas. He was the one, Oakview's the ones who's supposed to build the new arena in Las Vegas for the team. So how does that muddy the waters?
No, considerably, I would say.
Yeah. So I don't know. They got to think about that.
If you're an NBA owner, Puck, and what are we talking about? $5 billion for an expansion fee now?
Maybe more.
Yeah, but at least 5.
At least 5.
I mean, I don't think you just kind of poo-poo and scoff at that, do you?
Did you see who's up for sale? Who's going to be up for sale here shortly?
Trailblazers.
Your good friend, spells it with an E, Barry Trammell of the Tulsa World, is reported last week or about 10 days ago that the Oklahoma City Thunder will eventually, shortly, be put up for sale.
Well, God, could somebody from Seattle buy them?
Oh God! If I had Bezos just FU money, I would spend so much money that they couldn't turn it down. They just whatever that $10 billion, $15 billion. What do you want? $15 billion, and I'll pay off your arena that you're just building. You can get another team just to rip them out. God.
What are the reasons? Is he selling just to make a profit, or what's he doing?
Of course. This is why his BS about civic pride and
doesn't he want to just keep hanging in there though and create the dynasty? And
Jim, think about this. When
people care about that kind of stuff?
15 years ago.
When you're that rich, I mean, aren't you rich?
He's not that rich.
Don't you ever get to be rich enough where you think to yourself, yeah, I think I got enough millions and billions in the bank. I'm gonna look for a legacy now.
He's not that rich. That's the problem. He's not owner rich. He's rich, but he's not owner wealthy. He bought that team with a group for $350 million 15 years ago. Their valuation out Forbes is $4 billion.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I guess you can't blame him for that then.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Good investment. All right. Enjoy your rest of your stay there in Woods Bay, Montana. Flathead Lake. It's a beautiful part of our country, a beautiful part of the state. Safe travels. Best to your friends and their family. I know you're going out there for a memorial, so kind of bittersweet that you're headed out there. But safe travels, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, sounds good, Puck. I should be back in Bend by then, and so I'll probably have some cyber problems then. But I appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you.
You were great. All right, we'll see you Wednesday. Go Cougs.
Yeah, go Cougs. See ya.
There he is, Jim Moore, with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by A Clean Streak. You, of course, can watch all of that or listen to all of it, part of the Daily Punch up there up on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you find your world-renowned podcasts. And, of course, always up at pucksports.com. Every Monday, we catch up with Bill Krueger, Old School Baseball. He is the host of that podcast, which you find his appearances on the Daily Punch Up on the Old School podcast. Also, Old School _MLB there on Twitter. Again, every Monday we sit down, we chop it up, talk a little Mariners baseball. We talk about Julio. We talk about Cal Raleigh, Ben Williamson, Julio's decision to pull out of the All-Star game. Wide-ranging interview this morning with William Krueger. Well, it's a Monday, so we welcome in our good friend. It's Bill Krueger. Old School Baseball. You can find it on all podcast platforms. Also follow him on social media. Old School MLB, 13 years. Major League Baseball pitcher. How are you, William Krueger?
I'm good. I think the only thing that's not quite right is that we have to actually take a hiatus from baseball. That's I mean, you have the obviously the midseason classic, the All-Star game, and all the trimmings, but you kind of feel like you like to keep playing if you're a Mariner fan.
Oh, yeah, especially 100% coming off a series they're against Detroit. Yeah, they don't want to stop playing. What a weird team. It gets swept. It looks like you're coming off one of the worst losses. It's certainly probably the worst loss of the season. That final game against New York, they get in late. There's all these issues in Detroit. You're facing Tarek Skubal, and then, my God, they played the best series of the season against the team with the best record in baseball. It's just what a weird team, but just what a weird sport.
It's too many games, and there's just a lot of ebb and flow in the game. When you can get all elements of your attack going for you, and in this instance, this club, when it hits, certainly that can make a huge difference, because even though their pitching isn't quite where I think it still would be, it's climbing. 8th in the American League in ERA, just to use that as a measuring stick. That's not quite good enough to get into I think the top 6 where they have to be for sure. But when they hit, they win.
Yeah. They had been in that 6.5, 7 game deficit of Houston. I don't know about you, but when I look at the standings today and I start looking at the second half of the season, five games now in which they're back. That seems manageable. And I'll be honest, when I looked at 7, even though I know it's only 2 games,
right.
I looked at 7. I'm like, oh, that's monumental to come back from. 5 doesn't feel that way.
I think that's fair. I mean, a lot of baseball left. They played, 95 games? 95? Anyways.
Hold on. I've got it right in front of me, and I should know this.
67 games left?
They have played, I'm going to do math, they have played 96 games.
96,
yes.
Okay. So, there's a lot of baseball left. I mean, they turn the corner and they get the Astros right out of the chute, so they could put a real dent in that lead of the Astros right away. So when the club was looking ahead and struggling in New York, and you're saying, oh my goodness, they've got to go to Detroit, and they've got Houston and Milwaukee right behind it. I mean, a challenging stretch of games. But you feel a lot better about it after watching them play in Detroit, where they pretty much just treat them like a rag doll.
And it's not just what they did against Skubal, and it's a trend this year, Bill. We've talked about it before, where they did it actually to Skubal earlier in the season. They've done this with these top pitchers where, they're at the top of their game, or they're coming into that start, one of the best pitchers, in the game as well. And they just have had a lot of success against high-end top talent this year. But not only just Skubal, but it's Mize as well. What was it against Detroit? I mean, they didn't all of a sudden just find something. But why were they so successful against the Tigers in those 3 games?
Well, I mean, Skubal, I think there's a certain amount of arrogance that a pitcher gets when he basically is just dominating everybody, and it just doesn't matter who they throw up there. And sometimes you numb yourself against what the actual matchup looks like. Skubal's dominating the league. I mean, he's overwhelming the league, except for the Mariners. And when I watch Skubal pitch, he's got 99 in his pocket, but he almost wants to flash it at you. He doesn't want to really throw it that much. He wants to throw you the dazzling off-speed stuff and make you look silly. Well, the Mariners have a few guys in there that love to hit off-speed stuff. The 2-run homer that Rodriguez hit. We've talked about Rodriguez, and we will talk about Rodriguez, and things are getting better. But when you throw him 4 straight pitches between 85 and 90 miles an hour, and they land in the strike zone, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for it. Now, as I've painted the picture of Julio Rodriguez, and you watched how they pitched him in this series, you say to yourself, gosh, I hope they keep pitching him the same way. Treat him like he's, 4, and you can't throw it, and you can't throw it by him. The same with Rosarina. Just treat him that way. And guess what's going to happen? When those guys, if you throw them a lot of off-speed stuff, you're talking about Rosarina and Rodriguez, or you pitch them out over the plate, they start to find it, and they'll hurt you. School will get beat because he threw him 4 straight changeups. What are you doing? I mean, I'm at 10,000 feet. I'm gliding around in my glider, whatever. I'm not thinking the right word, and I'm not right down in the tactical area, in the zone of pitching strategy in the big leagues. And I can tell you right now that you can beat Rosarina and Rodriguez above in the high velocity range. You can go above the hands. You can go in, and you only throw the breaking ball or change up as a chase pitch. I wonder sometimes our pitchers, our elite pitchers in particular, they get so arrogant that they can strike out 10 a game that they go, I don't care what the plan is. The only plan is my plan. I'm the best. So who cares who's up there? Well, sometimes it matters.
What was are you going to tell me it's a small sample size what you saw from Julio in these 3 games, or is this a sign of better things to come in the second half? We've talked a lot about how he is very much a second half player. I mean, everybody knows that. You just go to his baseball reference page, you can see it all, right? July, August, September, these are his best months. But in that 3 games against Detroit, he had 500. He had an on base of 625. His slugging was over 1,000, almost 1,400. OPS over 2,000. He had 3 home runs and 6 ribbies. What signs of things to come? I thought that opposite field home run was something we haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen that since last year, 2 years ago, maybe.
Very good signs. His pitch selection was much better. He didn't chase as much. He got the balls that he could handle, and he did damage, right? He had a 2-3 doubles. He had 3 homers. He drove in 6. You said the opposite field home run. That was impressive on a fastball out over the plate. That was at least above average velocity. He took it the other way. I mean, that's the hitter that when I saw him the first time I saw him in spring training, and I saw this guy with sort of an inside out uber power swing that made me think of Miguel Cabrera. It made me think of Manny Ramirez, guys that just had tremendous zoom the other way. And those are scary characters because they are able to take everything, and you can't. Those are difficult guys to pitch to. The guys that their bat leaves the zone early and they try to pull, they're a lot easier to pitch to. There's a lot more room to attack them. But then what we've seen with Rodriguez over time is his swing has gotten more elongated, whether it's because he's trying to hit the ball of the ballpark. He tries to pull, and when he tries to pull, having that kind of a swing, he rolls over a lot of pitches. But the other side of it is he rolls over pitches and hits ground balls between third and short, and then he gets a hit, which saves his average. But I will say this, his pitch selection was better. His swing was tighter. He made better swing decisions. He got balls that he could handle. He stayed off the balls that he couldn't handle. And he got a bevy of off-speed pitches or balls out over the plate because you saw him get beat every time they won with the fastball in. They won with the fastball above the hands. That's where they won. But he was able to win against them more times than they won against him. And so that's win for Rodriguez, win for the Mariners, and confidence for Julio. And who knows what runs through his head? Everybody's got a different way that they motivate themselves. It's been an interesting stretch. He was in a terrible slump. He told everybody he's not going to play in the All-Star game. And it's sort of in a way, maybe he said to himself, fine, I'm not playing. And you guys don't think I'm that good, but you'll wish that I was there. I mean, that's silly, right? But he's making people wish he was there after watching him in this series, right? I mean, watching him in those 3 games, you say to yourself, this guy should be in the All-Star game because he's one of our best players.
Yeah. Now, initially, it just what you had posted, you said that you were shocked and disappointed that he declined to go.
Yeah.
Why shocked and disappointed? Well, let me back up. I think everybody was shocked that he decided not to go. Mm-hmm. Why disappointed though?
Because it's an opportunity. You never know when it's going to come again. He could run into a wall and break his leg and never play again. You never know. You never know what life's going to hand you. Things happen. Roy Campanella had 40 home runs, 4 straight years, and he ended up in a car crash on some ice and it was in a wheelchair. I'm not trying to paint a bad picture here. I'm just saying you never know what you take the opportunities as they present themselves to you. He's a great player. He should be there. The peers asked him to come to play, and he should have accepted because he's not tired. Did you watch him? Does he look tired to you?
He did not in the Detroit series, but I wonder though.
That isn't even an
I
excuse.
wonder. I don't know. I mean, none of us know what his reasons are. I mean, because we're not in his head. I mean, I could only speculate. I could theorize why he's decided not to go. I think that if I were to theorize, and that's what we do, we're just offering an opinion. It's just a thought that maybe he feels, you know what, I didn't have a good first half of the season. Not to the stand. I mean, it was okay. Defensively, I was good. But offensively, I didn't think I actually really warranted maybe an all-star selection. Maybe there was others that were more deserving than myself. Now, the players voted me in. That's great. But I don't know. I just don't feel like I really earned my spot. And maybe I want to take a few days off rather than go do all the festivities. Now, again, I mean, listen, I think it clearly is an honor in all of that. But I do understand that it's a lot, right? It's the home run derby. It's the game itself. It's everything that goes along with it, the press and all that. He's had a very tough season. And this is just, again, what I came up with on Friday when the news came out. It's a storyline that we haven't talked a lot about. But, in his personal life, he's had to deal with a lot this year in his personal life, what happened at his home, what happened to his girlfriend. And I just wonder, maybe he needs a break. Again, from a tired standpoint, which you just said against Detroit, certainly didn't look like he's tired. Now, I don't know if his decision, did it motivate him against Detroit? Who knows? I think we're all trying to figure out why he made that decision, but, ultimately it's just what he decided and I guess what's best for him.
I just think that when you get selected to play in the All-Star game, you should play unless there's something physically wrong with you or there's something that's immediate family emergency that would keep you from playing. That's how I look at it. I think you have to, players are going to hit the All-Star break in highs and lows, but he's a face of the game. When I said that I didn't think he was deserving a nod, I was only making a judgment based upon other players that I thought had better halves.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that I don't think that he should show up and play, because I do. I do. Players used to get a check when they played there, and that was important to them because they needed the money. Now they don't need the money. So they make judgments based upon, I've been there before. I'll go rest. And yeah, that's great. But I think you owe the fans who want to see you play. That's what I think.
But do you think, I guess, where I don't think it is, I don't think it's one of these, I've been there before and I don't want to do it. I don't think it's that. I think there's something else there that maybe he's just not willing to share. Because here's the thing. I mean, he's as affable as he is, as this big personality as he is, I think he's private. I mean, we didn't know for a long time what happened to him at his home. He kept that really private. I mean, that was a long time before it finally came out. I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on.
Possibly.
I have no, and I guess that's the hard thing.
I guess that's fair. But something that problem's going to be there Friday.
Sure.
You got to play. You had to play the last 3 days. You had to play the last week. You had to play the last 3 weeks. You got to play the last month. You know what? Life is complex. It's complex and it's challenging. And there's going to be moments where, those things are going to put you to the task, where you have to dig deep to understand things that you have to be able to overcome in this journey in life that is never going to be easy. You think just because you've got the big contract, life's easy. No, it gets more complicated. And when you set the bar high as a player, it's going to be hard to reach because that's the bar you've set. And it was refreshing to see him play with enthusiasm and a smile on his face that we like, and to produce like he did in Detroit. And you hope he catches fire. And some of these things that he's wired himself in on are much better. He did not look distracted. He did not look tired. He looked into the game. He looked like a great player. And I think it's going to be part of the life that he's going to lead for a long time. So I don't know specifically, Jason, fair to your point. Sure. We don't know what exactly it is that he's had to deal with. And it's not fair for me to judge him without knowing that. I'm just saying that from what we gather, it seems that he should be playing.
Yeah, I see. We are aligned on that when we had I think a good healthy discussion whether or not he deserved the All-Star nod
Right.
or not. But one thing that when he was, what I tried to articulate to people, because some people, well, you just don't like him. That's just not true.
No.
Is that I'm excited to see him play. In fact, I wanted as they were filling out I think the last few spots in the home run derby, I was like, let him play in the home run derby. He puts on a show. I agree with you. He's the face of baseball. This is why I take a step back and I just don't know what's going on maybe in behind the scenes with him. Is that I think he understands that he's one of the faces of baseball. I think everything you just said about the joy that he plays with, passion that he plays with, all of that is true. I think this was probably a very difficult decision that he made, and I think he probably, weighed on him a lot to make that call. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see if anything ever comes out of this or not. And we'll see how it translates to the second half of the season, because we can sit there and talk about what they can add at the deadline, right, Bill? But the one thing that they need to add in this second half of the season is him. He needs to be added.
Yeah, when he plays, he's a difference maker, because we know he does defensively. Even the close play at the plate made a great throw in the game. The game where he made the tremendous throw where they lost the last game of the series in New York. I mean, that was a great throw. He can make things happen, and he can be an offensive force. And when he's hitting and getting on base, and then they start to kind of nitpick at him, and then you want Raleigh. You want Raleigh? You're gonna nibble around with Rodriguez because you want Raleigh? What are you in a tree? And then Rosarena's been on fire. So that's a core there that they haven't had all season. And when they have it, it's great. Does that mean that they shouldn't try to add offense at the deadline? I think they should. They need a little help in the bullpen. That's for sure. I think we've noticed that. They need a little more depth. They need a left-handed pitcher. But another bat most certainly would be welcome.
And the ideal spot for that bat is where, you think?
Corner bat, I think, probably makes the most sense. It's third or first. It depends on. I think the two guys in Arizona make all the sense in the world. Naylor and Gino. Those guys both make sense. Getting one would be great. Getting two would be Yahtzee. Because they're underproducing at first, and then third base they get all the D you want, but not a lot of pop. Williamson's a good player, but he's still finding his way as a hitter. A guy like him, might have bided his time a little bit in the minor leagues in the past to find his ability to drive the ball. But I like the player. I still do. And at first they're just kind of pasting. They're just pasting. They're not really. A Naylor would be a huge fit for them there.
Can that power come? Speaking of Williamson, can that power come as he gets older in the big leagues? Because he does he makes contact with the ball. I'm a big Ben Williamson fan. In fact, I think I'm president of the fan club because I just love the way he plays the position over there. I love his glove. He's got a great arm. I think he moves well. He makes solid plays. He's a comforting glove over there. But he doesn't hit for power. I mean, he really didn't do that in the minors as well. But can that come later?
And the more he understands, what guys are trying to do to him, and understanding where his power is. I think power isn't just home runs. Power is being able to drive the ball in the alley. I think that's a good place for him to start, is to try to drive the ball in the alley a little bit more. Not necessarily trying to lift the baseball, but just trying to drive the baseball in the alley. Try to hit doubles. I think that's a good place to start. And then once you get, behind the baseball a little bit, and you're able to backspin a little bit, you keep working on strength, you keep working on all the little things that can incrementally make you better offensively, it can come. And it would help if he played on a really good team that had a ton of offense. I mean, look at the Yankees. And the name's going to escape me, but the guy that plays third is a lot like Williamson. I mean, he can really pick it. They got they made the shift with where's my brain today? They moved the left-hand hitter to second base, and then they have. I'm not thinking of the names right now, but they have a third baseman that can really play third, but he doesn't hit. He hits 9, but it doesn't matter in their lineup.
But
in our lineup, the Yankees.
Oh, the Yankees. Sorry, God, I'm blanking.
Yankees. Sorry. Left-hand hitter, skinny guy from the Marlins. He went to second.
Oh,
hit
Chisholm.
a couple home runs.
Chisholm.
And then the guy.
You and I both had we just had our senior moments.
I guess so.
And you're more
the guy that plays third can really play third. He can really play third, but he doesn't hit. He doesn't hit. And it doesn't matter with the Yankees because they'd rather have the defense. The problem with the Mariners is that they have a lot of want in their lineup. And so what happens is you get judged based upon the want. Now, granted, they hit like crazy because Rosarina and Rodriguez went nuts in the series, and Polanco had a pretty good trip, and all of a sudden they look like gangbusters in the middle of the lineup. But for the balance of the season, they're like, when we go good is when the whole lineup hits.
Mm-hmm.
So you measure everybody based upon offense. And Williamson, with a team that has more offense, would be more valuable.
Yeah, because he can't. Well, I mean, third base has always been a power spot. I just, I hope he finds it, because he just, to me, every throw he makes from over there, it is just a bullet. It is an absolute line drive bullet from third over to first base. He's got pretty great and decent speed. Cal Raleigh, I mean, he fell one home run short of tying Barry Bonds, Bill, and he had one that he hit foul that almost looked like it was going to go out, which would have tied him at 39. I mean, every week we talk about him, 38 home runs. I mean, he's already bested his career high. He is most likely going to break the franchise record for home runs. He has an opportunity. We talk about the catching stats, but I think, to break the record for switch hitting home runs, I think is just remarkable, and something that we probably don't talk about enough. He is. There is a fantastic article. I would encourage people to go read it today that Jeff Passan did at ESPN.com. And, it's all the things that you kind of know, but, some more information that you don't know. And he is, and I hesitate to say he's the perfect baseball player, because no one's perfect, but he's almost perfect in terms of just the work ethic and the time and the effort and the humility that he has as an athlete. It's just remarkable.
Tremendous makeup. It's a reflection of great parents and learning lessons early in life about what work ethic means, what it means to be a team player, what it means to be respectful for the game and for others, and to humbly bring your act to the game and not pound your chest. I mean, he's an old throwback type player. I mean, they had Johnny Bench this morning on the radio. I was listening, and he just couldn't say enough great things about Cal Raleigh. And, he's reflecting upon what Cal Raleigh in his lens looks like as a player that would have fit nicely into the 60s. So I think Cal, we start to hear his voice more and more, and it still comes out of pretty much aw shucks. But when you watch him talk to pitchers on the mound, you see someone that's really focused and is very intent on making a point. But he exhibits all the things that you love. He plays hurt. He never complains. Yeah, he's a team-driven guy. What's impressive is that his throw and catch game and block game are terrific. He plays every day. He switch hits, which is a huge advantage. And he's closed some of the holes. We've seen him for 3 years. He's a slugger. He goes through periods of time where he doesn't hit, and he was trying to climb above 200 for a while, and then I think he's like a 220 hitter coming into this season. And he spent a good majority of the time, he's now about 260, but he was pushing 280. He's closed some holes. He's handled off-speed pitches better. He stayed off the pitches that he can't handle a lot more, and he's putting fear in other pitchers. And when you have fear, you make mistakes as a pitcher. And so the slugging is amazing, and to hit 38 home runs in 95 games, I mean, that's a pace for 64 if you want to do the math. That's unbelievable in a game today where the strike zone is bigger, and of course we extol the virtues of everybody because everybody throws 100, I guess, which of course you and I know how I feel about that. They don't. It's a marketing tool, but that's okay. It's still a big strike zone to have to hit into. And so to do what he's doing in I think a game that's hedged more towards the pitcher is really impressive. And then you play every day, and you play hurt, and you play defense, and you lead. It's just it's almost too good to be true. And we are the beneficiaries of this guy for a long time. And I think you put the right pieces around him, and he's going to help this team get to the World Series.
I think it was Gary Hill on the pregame on the radio that said this, that if you would have told him, before the season, hey, Cal Raleigh's going to have 37 home runs. He's going to be hitting around 260 and slugging, around 600. And I think Gary's like, that's an unbelievable season. That's like he's going to be in the conversation. He's catching every day. He's going to be in the conversation as the MVP for a season. And then he stopped himself in the pregame and said, it's the first half. I mean, it is remarkable, these numbers. I mean, he's at 259 right now, 376, 634, over 1,000 OPS, 38 home runs, and 82 runs driven in. I mean, that is, and if you would tell people, gave him that line, Bill, that line, and said, but he catches, whatever it is, 90% of the games, people would be like, oh, that's an incredible season. That's one of the best seasons ever that's the best season ever for a Mariners catcher. Not even close. And it's the first half.
He's going to run down. I don't know how they measure, catching home run records for catchers. I mean, I know Perez is at 48.
48 for Perez.
Yeah, I mean, they say, well, how many did he have and when he didn't play first? Whatever. He's a catcher. He had 48 homers. So he's going to run past that number. Now, the wear and tear of a season is sort of in the ebb and flow of home runs. Kind of, even the great home run hitters go through stretches where it just doesn't happen.
Sure.
And hopefully he'll weather some of those stretches, and he has so far. He's had some little stretches where he hasn't hit, but for the most part, he's delivered on a pretty regular basis. Can he hit 60? It's well within his reach, which would be unbelievable. And drive in 150? I don't know, maybe not that much, but 140? I mean, wow, right?
I think for him, if he gets the one I keep looking at, if he gets the Mickey Mantle record, which Mantle set in 61 of the most home runs in a single season, which is 54 for a switch hitter. To me, that is that will, they'll top Perez, because Perez was 48 their home runs for a catcher. And I was going to look at his splits, because Cal has hit 31 of his 38 home runs have come as a catcher. Perez that season, when he hit 30 or 48, 33 of his 48 were his catcher. 15 were his DH.
You're splitting hairs. He's just going to run past those numbers. So just enjoy the ride of this player that you just, he's like the kid next door, the guy that you want your daughter to marry. Just a classy act, right? He just is. He's quietly humble, but he's tough and got a lot of leadership in the game. Little things about character show up, because he just doesn't make excuses. and he went back and got his degree from college. There's so many things there to love about him, and he seems quietly interested in making a difference in the community. There's just not anything that you don't like about him. He's wonderful and simple and focused and an incredible player that I mean, and everybody says it. He's the first one there, the last one to leave. He doesn't leave one stone unturned. It reminds me a lot of Edgar Martinez in the way he went about his work and his business. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun, and hopefully the Mariners can all reach up to his level, and this team can chase down a playoff opportunity.
Bill Krueger, there he is. Old School Baseball is the podcast. Find it on all podcast platforms, and you can find our visits on there as well. Also, find all of his work on social media. He's got videos that he puts up daily. Old School _MLB. Enjoy the home run derby, the All-Star game, and the little bit of the break. We'll reconvene on next Monday, and we'll be talking about the second half of the season getting underway. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it as always. Great insight.
Enjoy it, Jason. You have yourself a good All-Star week.
I will. We'll try. Thank you, sir. Again, Bill Krueger with us every Monday talking Mariners baseball. That full episode, video and audio, up there on the Daily Puck Drops on YouTube. Just search Puck Sports. Also Puck Sports there. The Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. Good stuff there on a variety of topics. Julio, what he saw in that series against Detroit, decision not to play in the All-Star game. You can agree or disagree with kind of Bill's stance on that one, but that's just his opinion. I'm sure that others that share that same opinion. And then Cal Raleigh, just a remarkable season that Cal has had, and it's just been sensational, and which will be cool here in the next few days of the All-Star tonight and then tomorrow is just going to be how much attention that Cal Raleigh receives, because he's the perfect teammate, kind of athlete, as perfect as guys can get in terms of the whole package. He is it. There is just no getting around him. All right. Hey, before we get out of here, what the puck, we've got to give you an update. It's Majors Week. It's the last major. Puck the Picker Majors Pool. It's the last one. It's the Open Championship. It's not the British Open. It's the Open Championship. And our Puck the Picker Majors Pool, all brought to you by our fantastic sponsor, title sponsor of it, Synthetic Turf Northwest. Look at that backyard. Puck the Picker Majors Pool is back, brought to you by syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Tired of that muddy backyard? Look at this beautiful backyard. Look how pretty it looks with that 3-hole putting green. Tired of the cost of watering your lawn? Synthetic Turf Northwest is pet friendly. They do synthetic lawn installation, custom turf installation, and with golf here, give you a golf green installation as well. Sign up today, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Go do it today. I'm telling you, I tell people this all the time. You will not be disappointed with Synthetic Turf Northwest, their custom turf installation. Again, your grass is brown right now because you're not watering it because it costs so much and it's so bloody hot outside. Not my backyard. Perfectly green because Synthetic Turf Northwest. And add yourself a 3-hole putting green, or 4, 5, 6. I don't know. Maybe you have a huge backyard. I don't know. I don't have a huge backyard. I live in the city. But add whatever you want. Big thanks to Synthetic Turf Northwest. Puck the Picker Majors Pool. It's our season-long golf contest. Started with the Masters. We wrap up now. Royal Portrush, the Open Championship. Last time they played there, it was Shane Lowry back in 2019 that ended up winning. So the contest was this. You had to pick every major, 2 golfers, low score to par. The catch was you had to pick 2 new golfers every single week. So many of you may be down, I don't know, you may down to the nitty gritty here. But we've got a great race for the top prize, which again, our first place prize is a stay and play package. 1 night, 2 rounds of golf at Gamble Sands, twosome for that. Second place is a foursome at Fairwood Golf and Country Club. Third place, a foursome at Mill Creek Country Club. And fourth place is a foursome at one of Troon's Seattle Premier courses, plus an hour-long top tracer range session at either Inter Bay Jackson or Bill Wright, which is formerly Jefferson Golf Course. So our standings as of now, going into the final week there of our major championships. I am not in first place. I'm actually tied for 83rd. Brendan, I can never pronounce your last name, Brendan. Brendan Limpsis. Brendan, Jason Siller, Tony Radich, We got David Feller, Jake Nelson are all tied for first place right now. Oh, actually, excuse me, Brendan, you're in first place. My bad. You're actually in first place by, God, $400,000. So good luck to everyone that is still in it. Doug Lawrence, and Doug is one of our active community members, and he's always leaving comments in the YouTube chat. So good luck to Doug. Good luck to everyone. Get your picks in this week and make sure you get them in early. The field is out. You can go to pucksports.com. The link is there to take you to where you make your picks. Get them in. Remember, it's the Open Championship, so it starts early for us. So get them in time there before they tee it off, which is Thursday, but really Wednesday night for us. So, or early, well, yeah, late night, like around 11ish. So make sure you get your picks in soon. And good luck to all. Big thanks to, again, Troon for providing some of those great courses, those prizes at Gamble Sands, Fairwood, Mill Creek, and, of course, their Seattle Premier courses. And big thanks to Mike and the whole crew there at Synthetic Turf Northwest, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Do it today. You will not be disappointed. Do it for the rest of the summer. They got summer deals if you go to syntheticturfnorthwest.com. They got some deals there, and then you want it before the rain season starts, especially if you got pets. It's pet-friendly. They're not going to track mud in the house anymore. You're going to thank me later. Trust me, you will thank me later. But big thanks to Synthetic Turf Northwest for the title sponsor there, Puck the Picker Majors Pool. All right, let's wrap up the show with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by our good friends there at Restoration One. Restoration One, the North Seattle franchise, is your restoration company. Lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when these damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. A big day coming up tomorrow in the NBA, big night. We'll hear what Adam Silver is going to say at his press conference tomorrow in Las Vegas, Nevada. The NBA simply needs to deliver tomorrow. They need to deliver some type of hope. Some type of hope. If they don't deliver hope tomorrow and a pathway for expansion of their league back into this city, then this city, I fear, is going to once and for all turn their back on the NBA, and I don't blame them. Adam Silver and this league tomorrow needs to provide some glimpse of the future and hope for basketball star fans in this community. And if they don't, you're going to get a lot of fans that are giving the double bird. And they deserve it if that's the case. They deserve it. Because they have strung this fan base along for too long. And if they come out tomorrow and they say something, as Tim Booth wrote, SeattleTimes.com, talk about 3 scenarios. If one of the scenarios is, we're going to table it for now, you're going to lose a lot of people that have been on your side for it. It's been 15 plus years. People need to get something tomorrow out of this league. And it cannot be, we're tabling it for now. That will be the worst single outcome if that is said tomorrow. Do right by the city of Seattle and this community supported your league for so long, Adam Silver, and the rest of the NBA owners. That's Hey, What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. Lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Hey, big thanks to everybody watching and listening today. Thank you to all the sponsors, Limbeck Lumber, A Clean Streak, and Restoration One. Today's Daily Puck Drop, find it up on YouTube. When you're there, subscribe to the channel. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms and pucksports.com. When you're at pucksports.com, sign up to be a member of the Pucks Posse for $5 a month. You support all the free content we do, plus the bonus shows as well. Our sports pit that's going to come out tomorrow, by the way. We wanted to record it after the Home Run Derby. Also, our MLB Insider Show with Ryan Divish on Wednesdays. Mitchie the Kid, Thursday's visit with us. And now we produce the Garage with Gas Take 5 podcast, which you can find on YouTube and all podcast platforms. They are also going to be getting that latest episode out tomorrow. You can find all that up at pucksports.com. Again, thank you, one and all, for all the great support. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Tuesday's show. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!